Hey everyone, we're back talking through our different factors to get the best score from your IMVis feeder from those judges. Last time we took you through different parts of storytelling, really worked out how to make those memorable stories stick in the minds of those judges. Now we're going to be talking through analysis and design. And analysis here, if you remember, we looked at what do those judges want. This is all about backing up your data story with some facts, with that information, that key data that kind of spells it out to them, really makes it a true story. So analysis, you can think of this as just asking a lot of quite direct questions of your data and your data sources and of the story. So there's a lot around the question of why is this important, why should I do this, but also you can work through some of the other questions. Be really critical of your story, of the data, what it's showing. Is it really showing you what you want to be telling? Really ask these questions over and over again. That way you're producing the best analysis for this work, because if you're asking these questions, there's also a chance that your judge will be asking these questions as well. I'm thinking, well, why did you choose that question? Why didn't you answer this? Oh, surely that's more important. And so if you've been down this path of answering all these different questions, you come to a really concrete piece of analysis to work with your data story. I've given you some questions here, different things you may want to go over. Again, think about that data story, what questions you can ask that might trigger some emotion as well. So now what we're going to explore with these questions is also backing up those questions with the right data and also the right chart. It's also about making sure that these questions are relatable to your judges. They're gonna ask these questions as they're going through. They're gonna go, why is that? And then you can answer it nicely. That's how you make that data story flow quite nicely for them. I'm going to walk you through an example now. So here's a scene for my feeder entry for last year's competition. So we've been through, our judges now gone on through and picked their answers for these different questions. They then go on to submit their answers. And the questions they're going to want to know as soon as you've completed the quiz is, how do they do? So I answer this immediately, that you've got one right. I'm thinking, oh, that doesn't feel very good. I actually put that into context straight away, so you can actually hear the text says, actually that's quite good. I then go on to talk further to that judge through the data. So I've used this colour to highlight their answers and put it into context of what this is all about. And when we look at this chart here, this bar chart, we can see that actually many people struggle to get all the answers correct. And judges are probably going to think, well, why is that? So this tied in with the next part of the data story, which is understanding that actually you're quite connected to people. And so when we think about people, I then split the data out by the individual people who are writing these answers. So we have the different people here, the artists themselves, other members of the family, Google as well, and so that this person can now go through and understand who they are most aligned to in terms of a person. So I use a radar chart here as a different type of chart. I don't want to use bar charts again and again. I want this to be visually interesting as well, so I've used this radar charts here to split out my different people. Lastly, I want to show that this person is an individual, that this judge has an individual voice in all of this. So I show their response as one line that goes from the first question here all through all the other questions. So they have this individual line that goes all the way through. And along the way here, I give you some extra bits of insights and analysis from the background of these questions, bringing in like my own special knowledge of this data to the actual data set itself. And again, a little bit of time for some comedy as well. So for example, for this one, it's time to name that animal. Is it a sheep? No. Is it a dog? No. Is it a cow? Probably. If your sweat drips as much as this, please see a doctor. So the point is that you are unique in your answers. So yes, no one agrees with you. The data says that. But you are actually aligned to other people because at least 85% people agree with one of your answers. So you can see here that the data story and the analysis tying in together. So I'm trying to balance the data, how it is shown, with the story I'm trying to tell at that precise moment. Again, so going from the top where you have the big answer, what you want to know immediately, putting that into context and then begging that question of why is this like this, because of people. You then see that analysis by different people. We then go on to see the unique side of things as well, where you are walked through your individual response through that data, to then putting it all into context at the end of you are unique, but actually you still align to other people as well. So again, think about these questions, think about what someone new to your data set or your visualization will be asking when they saw this data, and try and follow that common thread. It then makes for a better story, makes for quite clear analysis, and think about those charts and the data you want to be showing at these individual points. And this is all the key to a good set of analysis.